All right, what is going on, everybody? Today I have been invited, or mostly pre-invited, to play a game of Warhammer 40K. And for all the vast armies that I have seen through the game, and all of the ones that I know about, the ones that I know about the lore, I have finally been invited to a game of Warhammer 40K. And depending on which faction the other my friend plays, I actually been invited to play one. So I've been debating on which, version of the armies I want to play. And for a while, I wanted to do the Orc Boys. The Orc Boys are great. There's purple orcs, which are stealthy and never exist. And then there's the other ones. And I thought orcs would be really fun. But I've been keeping my eye on this one group of race slash armies. And as you can see on the screen, it is the necrons. And not only did I find the necrons very abominable, like very easy to get rid of. Well, not easy to get rid of. They're pretty hard to kill. They're so tough to beat, and they're so I'm still like reading some of the necrons like conducts and stuff. Like I still have it up here, and I will be reading the things for the necrons. But it's like the necrons are very me. I can see them being a thing. Um, like I do in real life, I do own paper miniatures of the Warhammer. It's cheap. Go on Scribe, it's cheap. But it's just the thing is, I'm more interested in the Necrons because I never got to play this game before. So what better army to play than the Necrons? Um, I don't know which army my other friend's going to be playing. He's also a fellow streamer on Twitch, and we're going to have an observer in the background, which is kind of like our friend that wants to learn how to play the game or watch us play. And she is also a live streamer. So we're going to be having three live streamers a part of the group, which is going to be amazing. We will not be using our real names. For everybody that is on my channel and knows me as Backward Comics, I introduce myself as Dr. Madness, which is still the same thing. It's just a different title. So, although, yes, I am very excited to actually start a first game of Warhammer, I'm using a different site because all my friends, we don't live in the same areas. Well, me and my friend do, but the other one don't. So I'm using this thing called D&D 20, Roll 20, which is a D&D website. I actually like using D&D beyond D&D Roll 20 because look at this map. You have a giant map to use. So, for instance, because we do use this for D&D, I could pull up a random map of, random things. I do have some more gaming maps in here, which is nice. Like I could pick this map, right? And it starts off this small. But then let's just say I increase the size here. Oops, I accidentally sent it reverse. Give me a second, guys. Boom. This. Yeah, we have some interesting characters for this game. The D&D our D&D games, which I hope one day we will be able to live stream without being demonetized. But look at that. Now we got a map. Well, oh wait, we have this other stuff right here. Boom. It may not be the same map, but you can add to the map. So it makes it feel like, oh wait, this isn't your typical, accelerator. Now there's like a maze in there. And I like it. I like the idea of this. I do have a Necron map, which is this puddle here, but it's not really equivalent. But because we play D&D, you can see the size that we have to go with, especially if we do kind of increase it to a little bit, which I don't really mind doing. Like, look at that. That's kind of standard Warhammer 40. 40 K size, but it also tells you like how far they can go, and you don't have to measure out the distance between you and the guy that you have to shoot because this is the building map. So I can literally put as many people as I want on the map, and it will still be like 1,000 point army. This is an 1,000 point army thing. I'll even add the Burger King guy. But this guy is your dreadnought. This guy is, your vehicle that you can use. Like, I'm so excited. And these are your little guys, and then your Primarch. And look at that. You have a whole map to use now. So not only you're going, oh, I need to move out of this way to shoot someone, you can actually track your movements without having to worry about distance and stuff. And then, yeah, what do you want to shoot someone, right? You just use this blue little thing and it tells you how many feet you have, how many stuff you got. It's perfect for the wargaming thing. Um, like I said, I have Scribe put up. Scribe is my go-to for anything D&D Beyond and like comics and books. This is my go-to. I love Scribe. So when I'm playing Warhammer 4000 or 40K, this is the book I use. These are the sites I use for the books. So basically what I'm trying to say is I'm very excited to play my first game of Warhammer. Amazing. I can play the necrons, I can play orcs, I can play any faction I want, and I would still have enough time to read the book so I know how fast my army goes or whatever. I have this, and this is the perfect army map for this kind of situation. It's like the equivalent of having a lot of people have been recommending this site on Steam, and it's called Tabletop RPG. But I don't mind 3D like on a game board, but 2D. This is my focus here. I can invite a friend, or I'll even just have them on our website that we use to cross platform and talk. And this right here, this on the screen that you're seeing is our go to 2D model. And this is the perfect wargaming map. Now, it might not look like your typical 4000 40K standard map. That's because in real life, it is your typical Warhammer 40K map. It's exactly what you think it is. It's that size where you don't have to worry about blocking and not finding a spot to hide because in these areas you can find spots to jump on. You can find spots to hide. Even if you're in a blurry video like this where you see hallways and caverns, it still adds to the story. Like I give you this. Most of our thing is like non Warhammer, so we're all D&D in this group. But like I have two separate maps that I think are Warhammer, but I could be wrong. It did just say this was generic normal maps for like apocalyptic sci-fi. Correct me if I'm wrong in the thing. But look at that. Tell me that doesn't look like a Warhammer or Star Wars Legion map. Like seeing this is definitely like the go-to on wargaming. And then if I really wanted to, I could flip this, I think. So if we do it the opposite way around, I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've done this. I think we could rotate the map. Oh, actually, no, that's even better. But for example, we can rotate the map. And now look at all this different fields and stuff we got. We have I like to call this a happy coincidence. This is your map now. This looks like an official map that, oh, look, I got coverage here and pathways, but wait, there's pathways leading into this area and coverage going to this area. It's a happy accident. Even if you do it like this, where I think this is like a Necron thing, it feels like a Necron thing, like having this green ooze and just terribleness to this area. This feels like a Necron. It feels like the Necrons belong on this map. And it's like I could see this heavily being a Necrons map, especially for the green underneath it. It definitely gives it Necron vibes, which is amazing because this gives me a lot of things to play with, especially on this website, and especially I have all these files. So if I was, let's say Burger King guy over here, right? These are my armies of Burger King. My legion is Unga Bunga SpongeBob, and then we're not going to go ridiculous with the army. Like we're not doing a 1,000 point army. This is already my 1,000 point army, a 4 point army that is allowed to exist like this, and that's my 1,000 point army. And then I don't know. I'm just throwing some random ones out there, but like, look at this. Now you're like, oh, well, there's a bridge here, but it doesn't look like there's any coverage. So the Primarch has to stay. Well, I think my Primarch would actually be a lot more faster. And then these guys would go behind it, which is amazing because we just don't have to worry about this. And look, I already got coverage. And then my guys can go in and get coverage too without, hurting each other. But then, yeah, there's openings here. But then you got the two jet troopers that can jump up here. Boom, boom, right? Boom, right? And sense of motive, you can even tell who's like hasted and radioactive and stuff. But I'm so excited to be playing my first game of Warhammer 4000 or 40K. It falls in the same line, but 4000 is fourth edition, I think. Sorry, 40,000. 4,000 is fourth edition. 40,000 is fifth edition, I think. But this is what I'm saying. I'm excited to be playing this game, and I've been pumping myself up just to learn the game, and I am ready. I think I'm ready, but if I'm not, I'll relearn it. Like I know about the battle phases, I know about the shooting phase, the stabbing phase, the moving phase. Those are all things I like. And then capture the objective. I seen played in Lego, so I know about capture the objective. But there's so much that I'm still learning that I feel like when me and my friend are going to play, we will be ready by the end of these live streams and stuff that we just play on. I'm really excited to play this game. I cannot stress this enough. Doing the whole codex thing for Necrons is amazing. I can't wait to learn to play Necrons. I am just so pumped up about this. I really my favorite army, like look at this. I got images of those. I have to find images of this. I have the image of the Necrons. And I guess these are the Eldrazi, which are the elves empire, I think. I don't remember. They are the elves. But I'm just saying this is the elves versus the Necrons. Right? I'm saying that right. Necrons. They're just called Necrons, but I call them the Necrons. It sounds more official. But look at this. This is an amazing army versus army thing. And I want to do these. I want to do this Necrons versus this Space Marines or whatever he's gonna be playing. But look at the chapters. The chapters are where it's all at. I can learn the lore while reading this, but I'm not interested in lore. I already read the lore. It's just Eldritch attack. That's your attack thing. I love this Necron book now that I'm reading very fast. Like I could just skip all the way to the end where I think it just shows you the battle phases and stuff. These are nice. Yeah, this will tell you your army. So like you got the Shargan of Destiny, which I'm curious about looking up the battle cards for these guys, especially if they have better army. Like I'm so tempted just to look all this up. And then look at that. There's just so many. That looks like a Gundam, by the way. There's the orange version of the Necrons, which is just amazing to look at. Uh, this is amazing. I don't even know the lore to that, but it looks amazing. This is amazing. I want to play this army. I really do. And it looks like fun too. It really does look like fun. Oh, I'm so excited. I am so excited to play this army. Like I kid you not. I'm just loving every second of this. And eventually, like look at that. It's like combat patrol, which will tell you everything you need to learn about this army. There it is. Like it'll tell you Romo, Bass, Copper. This is the painting stuff. It teaches you how to paint the things. And then it will teach you like the things. So these are your objectives, which is like this and this, and these are alternate objectives, which I will probably read while I'm doing this. But look at this. This is amazing to give you the battle cards already in here, so you don't have to worry about just finding the battle cards and like doing anything on here. I am so pumping myself up for this. I am getting amazingly like ready for this. But yeah, so unfortunately I gotta end it here. But oh, I'm so amped to do a Warhammer 40K game. It's gonna be amazing.